Hello YouTube, WW Solo Trucker here again with another video on trucking. It'll be kind of a short video today. I'm going to talk a little bit about how to stay awake because this job, the nature of the job, it'll keep you drowsy sometimes. Maybe some people will have an immunity to it, but most people are not going to have this immunity, and being out on the highway and driving all the time is going to make you sleepy. It mainly is the sound, your ears, the sound of the humming tires on the highway and the engine, which are atonal in nature, which means it's just one particular sound. It's not a bunch of different frequencies of sound. And it's droning too, which means it's constant. It doesn't change in pitch or anything. And also, your eyes will fatigue too. So these two factors make it really easy to fatigue your mind, your brain. It's not really a physical thing at all, unless some drivers do have to load and unload. So if you get into an account to where you are regularly loading and unloading your trailer, then physically you'll get tired too. But if you don't, like me, I don't do any unloading or unloading. Occasionally I'll sweep a trailer, but that doesn't happen very often. So you're going to get this tiredness, especially if you do a lot of driving at night too. That'll make it even more amplified. In my experience, it has. So a lot of guys will smoke cigarettes, for the nicotine. I don't smoke anymore. I gave that up many years ago. Some guys drink a lot of coffee. I don't drink coffee. I've never been a coffee or tea drinker. Some people drink a lot of tea, strong tea, but I don't do any of those. But what I will do, and I do this pretty much on a routine, when I start my day, I keep like Clef bars, and I keep Pop-Tarts, and sometimes Danishes in the truck. And what I'll do is I'll have one of those, and I'll have one of these as well. Monster. It's kind of not very bright in here, but it's a Monster, zero sugar. See, these type of Monsters are different than the regular type of Monsters because these actually have fruit juice in them. They don't have nearly as much caffeine. They do have some extra caffeine than a regular glass of juice, but it's not like the double, triple, quadruple shot of caffeine you get with a regular Monster. And the sugar, the only sugar that's in that one, in this one, is the natural sugar that comes from the fruit juice. It's also got taurine in it, and carotene, and I think it's got some ginseng in it too, which is some herbs, natural herbs that'll give you a little boost. I'll drink one of those in the morning, like I said, with whatever I've got here on the truck. Most of the time it's just a Clef bar. And then after I take my 30-minute break, I'll get some food and maybe some water, and then I'll have one of these here. This is a Mountain Dew Voltage. This is a regular Mountain Dew, but it's got blueberry juice in it, real blueberry juice, and it's also got a shot of ginseng in it too. And blueberry juice is a natural upper. It's got a lot of, I'm not a botanist, so I don't know exactly what it is that it's got endorphins or something in it that gives you, it might just be natural caffeine, but it gives you a boost of energy. So those two items right there will keep me good, keep me awake, because sometimes we're driving up to 11 hours. Most of the time I'm going to average between 9 and 10 hours most weeks per shift, per 24-hour shift, or 24-hour time period, 14-hour shift. But most of the time it's between 9 and 10 hours. Sometimes I'll be pushed really hard and do almost my entire 11 hours. But it doesn't happen too often. Most of the time we've got a good window of delivery or pickup. But like I said, those two things right there, I was, and I did this for about 2 or 3 months. Red Bull has got a new type of drink out now that's like this Monster, and it's got real fruit juice in it, and those are pretty good because before these two drinks came out, this Monster I just showed you and the new Red Bulls they have now, I didn't like the taste of Monster or Red Bull. It was just so sweet that it just, I didn't like it. And the Red Bulls just, were just way too much caffeine and just way too much sugar. These have got probably fructose corn syrup in it, or monoglutamate acetate, whatever it is that is kind of a substitute for sugar. But it doesn't have any added sugar. It's just got whatever sugar is in the juice. But these are actually pretty good. And the new Red Bulls are actually quite good too, tasting. And taste is half the battle with me. But I was drinking, like I said, one of these Monsters when I first started my day, and I'd have one of those Red Bulls instead of the Mountain Dew Voltage after I took my 30-minute break. And I noticed that after when I was getting towards the end of my week, because I'm pretty much out for just a week at a time, and then I'm off for a couple of days. When I get towards the end of the week, get down to like maybe 30 hours, 20 hours left on my 70, I'd start feeling antsy and just jittery, and I couldn't sleep very well. And turns out it was those Red Bulls, because the Red Bull, they kept all that extra caffeine that they put in there, and then they threw the juice in it. These Monsters, I don't think they have nearly as much caffeine. Let's see. The caffeine is, I'll read it to you if I can find it. Well, it's on here I saw it once, but I don't think it's got as much caffeine as the regular Monsters do. I'm sorry, I don't see it there, but they do have caffeine in them. So that's an extra boost, but it's not as much as the regular type Monsters. Another thing that I will do is, if I start feeling drowsy or sleepy, I'll roll down the windows. I roll down the passenger window just a little bit, maybe this much, 4 or 5 inches. And the driver's side window, I'll roll it down all the way. Unless it's wintertime. In the wintertime, I'll just roll the driver's side down a little bit and turn the heat up. But getting fresh air in, instead of just this recirculated air that's in the truck, recirculated air is good for you because it's filtered. But getting some fresh air in changes the air a little bit, so it kind of helps keep you awake. And I'll also listen to music, or sometimes I'll listen to an audiobook. But it can't be something that's like, if it's an audiobook and the person who's reading it has a really, really dull, droning, monotone voice, I won't be able to listen to that because it'll put me to sleep. And certain types of music, like classical music and certain forms of jazz and some certain forms of easy listening music, some pop music will put me to sleep too. So I have to be, usually I'll listen to something heavy, hard rock or metal or something like that, or just regular rock music, just something that's upbeat, will keep me awake. But those are the things that I will do to help keep me awake. But by far, nothing is going to help if you haven't got a good amount of sleep. I need a good 6-8 hours of solid sleep. Good solid sleep, 6-8 hours. I find that if I get a good 6-8 hours of solid sleep on my 10-hour break, I'm good. I'm usually really good to go. When I was younger, I didn't need that much sleep. You know, I can remember when I was in my 20s, you know, working in, 10, 12-hour shifts, and I'd go home and drink beer for 3 or 4 hours afterwards, and, next day get up, no problem, go right back to work, no hangover, no nothing. But, once I got into my mid-30s, and I started feeling them hangovers, and, my body just doesn't snatch back like it used to. And I'm pushing 60 now, so I have to get my sleep. If you're younger, maybe you don't need quite as much sleep, or maybe not quite as much solid sleep. But me, myself, I need that good 6 to 8 hours sleep. And there's really no, you can drink coffee all day and drink energy drinks or whatever, smoke cigarettes or what it is, or take those little caffeine pills that they have in the Quickie Mart, whatever, but it's not going to replace getting good sleep, because eventually you will crash, or you will have trouble going to sleep, like what happened to me when I was drinking them Red Bulls. I had to stop drinking them altogether because it was way too much caffeine in my system. All right, well, that's pretty much all I got to talk about today. Just remember, get that solid sleep, especially if you're older. If you're over like 50 years old, you're probably going to need that extra sleep. WW Solo Trucker out.